Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for joining us again here today. We have the gulag piling up here slowly one by one. We have the Zoom session also piling up here one by one. Let me just check this out over here. We're trying to see all systems are running, engines are going, oil is in the system. All right, perfect. Let's take a look at pound yen. Well, pound yen still hasn't been able to break above 142, 170. What's this? They're back at it again. Oh yes, exactly. So what we're gonna do is we'll do fresh analysis on pound yen. Let's just remove everything here. So let's do fresh analysis. Looking at the daily time frame, yesterday we sent the daily analysis, and the entire analysis was that maybe this bearish candle would be a booby trap candle, if you guys remember, right? And the only thing we were looking at was if we respect the support on pound yen, prices continue moving bullish, and we did continue to move bullish, and we did continue up to this resistance right over here, which is 142.230. Now the entire problem is, are we going to continue moving up or not? And what we're going to do is we will go down to the 1 hour time frame now, and looking at the 1 hour, what we see is that there's a support formed right over here, 141.800, right? We got support formed over there, and that support makes sense. And if we hold the support, I think we're going to continue up towards 142.200. But if we break the support, then obviously we know we can continue to move down into this 23 pip range. There's a minor support right over here, but I guess when there's going to be volume in the market, the volume should continue price through this minor support and onto the stronger support at 141, 590, 580. So I guess some people took sells over here. Nicely done. I'm just gonna wait to see if we break this area to continue up, or are we gonna start to range in this area over here. So if we measure this range, it's like a 24, 23 pip range. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, so we're gonna measure it here at 19, 20 pip range. Pretty good range over here. Yeah, this is a pretty good range over here. This range wasn't enough for me to kind of like do something because, oh yeah, it was a good range, 20 pip range. So we'll see here. I think I'm going to be looking for a break above 142 for price to continue up, or a break below, 141, 820 for price to continue down, and then we're going to see what happens. Because if you look on the 4 hour time frame, 4 hours still bullish, and if this 4 hour continues moving up, man, we need some confirmations, right? And those confirmation breaks are going to come on the 15-minute time frame right here. So we shall see. Can you look at gold? Can we look at gold here? Yeah, let's take a look at gold over here. Let's take a look at the daily time frame. Daily is still bearish, 4 hours still bearish. Let's remove all the analysis. Let's do fresh analysis on gold. Looking at the daily, we did anticipate the daily candle to go down. I mean, the analysis we sent yesterday. But the only thing we wanted to see was that what resistance will price hold? Right, and what we can see is, where's my thing over here, that there was a resistance formed at 1858. Right now, currently, 4 hour candles, they're closing above this support, right? So there was a support here on the 12th January, and this support was held at the New York session at 1839, right? So we can look at the current 4 hour candles came down to 1839, broke below, stopped above, closed above. The next one also closed above. This one is forming right now, so we're not sure whether it's going to close above or not. So looking at the 1 hour time frame, we do see that there's a support is forming on the 1 hour right here at 1839. At the same time, we got this resistance at 1844. So if we measure this range, this is like a 50 pip range, but there's a lot of consolidation over here. Cleaner range is above 1844 going all the way up towards 1850. That's a much cleaner range. Let's take a look at that on 30-minute time frame. Yep, makes sense. You see this right here? This is your resistance. This is your most recent resistance, and that becomes your target right over there. At the same time, we're creating a support over here, so we'll need to see whether price is going to break the support to continue down or not. And if we do continue down, I think it's a very high possibility price can continue down to fill these wicks at 1834 and all the way down towards 1829. So we're going to see what happens, because right now we're in this 50 pip range, right? It's not a good range to trade in. Because if you look on the 15-minute time frame, we can see how candles are just up, down. They're just printing sideways. So sideways printing candles, they're basically like, ranging candles. Hey, good morning, guys. I'm in Rwanda, Africa, and we are at 1:30 p.m. Oh, nice. Shout out to Rwanda, Africa. I'm already on a buy on GJ after it formed a support. Been on the range for a while. Hope it breaks above the resistance. Well, I think when you enter the buy, so I would assume you enter the buy right down over here. And this is why whenever price goes up into 10 pips, 12 pips, I'm always securing profits. I just secure profits no matter what happens. Whether price moves 100 pips after that, 200 pips after that, comes back down to break even. Whatever the case is, I'm always securing 10 pips and I'm letting the rest run. I think that way, you stay profitable, and you just stay on top of your game at that point. Let's take a look at this chart over here, MDSR. Oh, nice sells. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Some people took sells over there. That was a nice one. First entry with breakout candle right over here. Okay. Stop loss is too big, 16 pips. Had to reduce your risk. TP, first TP and full TP. Nice. Bullish move, clean traffic to the left hand side. No confusion, very nice. Coach, we are on mute. Oh, yes. All right.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you? Okay?
Yeah. You okay?
Good. So, quick. I just wanted to share my thought with you. During London, I took some buys. If you go into the 30-minute time frame. Yep. So after we broke above the resistance at 141,900 level, and we closed above, I took some buys at around 142,200, secured 10 pips. Now, what I was expecting was for us to continue the bullish move, but I already secured my 10 pips anyway. However, when we drop into the 1 hour time frame, if you go into the 1 hour time frame, we've got the 1 hour closed as a heavy rejection, bearish on the 1 hour time frame. And we didn't break the previous day's high as well. So we closed as a rejection, bearish, when we were going bullish, and we didn't break the previous day's high. That's why my current view, my bias for buys have changed. I don't feel like it's going to be buys. Just because we came all the way up and we didn't break the daily's high, previous day's high, and we closed with a heavy rejection on the 1 hour. So right now, I think I'm just waiting to see if we're going to break below 141,800.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. If we break below that point or not, 141,800.
Yeah.
Can you take a look at the trade from this London session? No, let's take a look over here. This is USD JPY. So if a candle breaks and respects this level, can the target be a bullish candle on the left, or do we have to be concerned about the red zone? See, the thing about this area here is now this resistance was formed in the past, right? Now, when price breaks this area, it can come down over here. Now the whole problem is, since we have this clean candle here to the left, we can't 100% ignore this resistance here, because what can happen is if price comes down, it can potentially reject this area, come up to retest, and then continue moving down. Or it can come down and just break through this area and keep going all the way down. So those are two things that can happen at that point, once price breaks the support and continues down. So that's something you'll have to keep in mind. I mean, you'll have to keep, I think you'll have to be cautious about this area as price comes down, and then decide what to do if the candles, just start rejecting, or like, if they start forming with bigger rejection wicks or stronger candles. Because stronger candles normally mean that the zones are going to be broken. Just like right over here, right? If price breaks the support, we have a minor support right over here, but we're expecting volume to continue driving price down towards the stronger support at 121,580. But if we see candles, rejecting this area, or see like big wicks over there, then we can say, okay, like, what, maybe price is gonna reject this area, do a retest, and then continue moving down. Confusion between my real account and the demo account on my phone. I just kill my real account. Oh. So you plan to kill your demo account, but you killed the real account. Man. Yeah, have to be very careful. Can you check my chart? My first time sending one. Alright, let's take a look here. This is entered as the price broke the high in the last 2 minutes right over here. Closed 50% as the low was broken. This yellow line, this line is pointing towards this candle, and this candle did not break any low, so we're going to continue on. Closing at 50%, was this a bad idea? Okay, yeah, that's right. So price came down, broke this low, but what happened right over here? Oh, it didn't really go towards 141.8 pips. So what I would say in this is, whenever price goes into profits, right? Whenever you have a position, and whenever your position goes into profits, let's say 6 pip profit, 7 pip profit, because normally, sometimes the price is going to go up to like 9 pips, 8 pips, and then continue back down. What I want to do at that point is I want to close out 50% at break even. Because whenever price goes into a profit and then comes back to your entry point, that means there's a probability it can go back and draw down. So do you want to go back and draw down after being up in money and then being negative, or do you want to go and draw down with a lower position? Right? So whenever you're in 7 pip profits, 8 pip profits, hell, like if someone's targeting 15 pips and you go into 10 pip profits, and if price starts to come down at your break-even point, that's when I'm closing 50%. I'm closing 50%, 60% at break-even, and then letting the rest go and draw down. Because after I go in profits, I'm never letting my entire position go and draw down. Because you gotta manage risk at that point. Because if you're gonna go and draw down, then there's a possibility it can go back to your stop loss. So that way you're really, really lowering your risk at that point. Can someone tell me what is magic keys? Let's see. So you can go to the website. The website is in the description of this stream. Let's take a look at this analysis over here. So we're gonna focus on looking at more analysis rather than the trades taken, because looking at analysis, it helps us more. Pound yen 15-minute chart. So I will add 1%. If price close below this way, yes, this is perfect. This is the way I would want to see a candle close as well, below support. Because if a candle can close like this below support, we know there's a high possibility for the next candle to continue down, especially if that candle breaks this low over here to continue bearish. So that's nice. I'm going to be looking for almost like the same thing over here, but we have to wait. Ooh, the gulag is getting angry over here. All right, let me turn off the notifications. Please turn off the notifications, man. Come on. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. Oh, nice. TP, entry over here, stop loss below there. Beautiful. Took partial positions as well. Man, taking partial positions removes so much stress off the trade. You take partials, you're like, all right, at least I secured something. Let's take a look at this AUD USD. Secured 80% in 20 pips and stop loss at break even. Nice, very nice. My thoughts on this are, it's a nice chart. You have nice labeling. Your entry was, I don't know, it was over here, over here, over here. This thing is pointing over here, so I don't know where your entry was, but seems like you made profit. Very good. Do you know anyone that trades GU live? Mrs. Sultana Aliko. What we can do is, it's not about trading GU live, it's about analyzing the pair, right? So what we're going to do is we will analyze GU over here, and let's take a look at it from a daily perspective first. Let's remove everything, all analysis, and just bare bones, price action. So the first thing we see is that there's this heavy resistance up over here, and there's some sort of a support down over here, but then there's another stronger support down at 1.35 thousand, right? So if you go down to the 4-hour time frame, what we're going to find is we're going to find some sort of consolidation over here. We know that there's a resistance up at this point. Since there's consolidation over here, we want to look at the smaller time frames and let's see what's going on. Okay. So looking at the 1-hour time frame at this point, the first thing we see is our support down at 1.36300, right? We got a support down over there, and then we have a resistance forming at 1.36600 right over here. Now we have a range here now. So if you measure this range, this is a 32 pip range, and you can see how in this 32 pip range candles are just printing side by side, right? There's no clean candle, there's no clear market structure. It's just in a big range over here. But we also know is that, okay, now what's going to happen if we break below the support on GU? If we break below the support, where's the next target where GU can possibly go into? So if we measure this range, this is going to be, first we have this wick fill here, 12 pips away. We have another wick fill here, 16 pips away. And the reason there's going to be a wick fill is because whenever price is going to break a support, these wicks, they become destinations, right? If price starts breaking above resistance, then you can say, okay, we're breaking above resistance. We have these rejections over here and yada, 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 perfect, right? But if you start breaking a support, then these wicks, they become your destinations. This is where you can anticipate price to move into. We got this area, and then all the way down over here, around 26 pips away, 30 pips away, we got our another zone right over here, which we can target. So this becomes a target if we break below the support. Perfect. So we got a target for sells. Now we got to look for a target for buys. And target for buys is pretty easy. I mean, if we break above, 1.36600, then, you got this wick fill over here, 20 pips away. And then you got the full range over here, which is 30 pips away. So now all we got to do is we got to be disciplined, good people, and just wait for price to either break up or price to break down. That's it. That's where all your trading efforts go into, is to just waiting for these zones to break and see if price is going to move up or move down. Most of the times it's just waiting. Most times people lose because they just don't want to wait. Hey, took my first trade with real account after 7 months. Oh, nice. Watched candle trends and database entries. Let's take a look at this. So this was GJ 30-minute chart. Conservative trade, stop loss below the previous entry at the next candle with confidence, just like you thought in the database. So what happened over here? Ooh, price didn't really move up. Price kind of rejected at that point. So hope you managed risk over there too. 80% stopped at BE, nice. At least you secured as well, right? Securing position is extremely important. Risk managers, Raja, I restart trading from Monday, but in every trade, I'm quite scary. You're scary? I'm also using smaller lot sizes. Oh, you're scared. Yeah, see, if you're scared, just start by using smaller lot sizes. And I think so there's another scenario people go through, and that's you're scared to open positions. Price is going to move, price is going to go where you want it to go. Let's say, for example, we have this resistance here, and if price starts breaking above 142.030 and we know price is going to go up, some people are going to get that hesitation to enter, right? So at that point, you just have to execute. You have to just execute. Most times when we know we should be executing a trade, we don't want to execute at that point. We just kind of want to wait a little bit. And when we wait a little bit and we execute, we go in a drawdown. So the point is, whenever you instinctively know you should be entering at this point, just enter with the smallest lot possible. Because then at the same time, what's the worst that's going to happen? The worst that's going to happen is that you're going to lose $1, right? Will that dollar make you poor? Will that make you a bad trader? Will anyone know? No one's going to know. Only you're going to know that you lost $1, right? No one else is going to know. But if you win that trade, you're going to have confidence, right? You're going to say, oh, wow, you know what? I analyzed this trade and now I won this trade. So maybe I can execute on the same idea tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And that's going to work over time confidence. And then your lot sizes are going to get bigger and bigger. But the first step is just execute, because no one's going to know. Only the broker's going to know. My game plan for UJ, not happy with range, but still okay, I'm guessing. Let's take a look over here. Ooh, UJ. Let's talk about USD over here. USD is ranging. Such nice market structure today, guys. Amazing range. Just have to wait over here. Just easy peasy trades here today. Whenever price is ranging, I know half of my work is done, because it isn't trending. It's just ranging. And when price is just ranging, you're just waiting. You know, you're waiting, you're shooting the shit. You're just waiting for price to kind of like break down or break up, and then go from there. Good morning, Raja. Can you look at my gold idea, please, and tell me what do you think about it? All right. Let's see here. This is sent by, it's something written in Arabic. I can't read it. So price is ranging. Perfect. Buys above breaking and closing above 1843.60, targeting this minor resistance. I think it can also go towards 1849 up over there. And you're right, after we break support, we can continue down as well. Kind of like the same ideas I have here too. This could be our major target here if we start breaking below 1838. Gold to the moon, guys. When it happens, remember me. All right. Perfect. Hey, check my analysis over here. Let's check it. Let's check these analyses here. So this is pound yen. We have resistance here. For me, buys will be valid above this level. Looks good. Looks good. Planning for sales below this level. Looks good, looks good. Oh, what? 9 pips. Yeah, I think you should move this down over there. The stronger support. Right down over here, the stronger support. Oh, what's this? I had over 30 pip slippage with gold before news yesterday. Gold didn't even move that much at news. And I opened around this. Had a sell stop at 1852.500. And it was activated at 1849. Oh, wow. That's sick. Has the captain made a trade in 2021 yet? No. I haven't made a single trade in 2021. Not even a single trade in 2021. Yeah. Well, it's not about discipline. I'm just waiting for the platform to come up. There are a lot of moving parts, you know, when you start a new platform. And I'm just waiting for confirmation from the banks, confirmation from the medicotes. You know, it's just taking a little bit of a time. Probably by the end of January, I can start trading again. Raja, are you keeping the support at 141, 744? I don't know where 744 is. At the back of your head, support on the 1 hour. Oh, right over here? Yeah. I mean, if you start breaking below, I'm going to keep that in the back of my head, because we could start rejecting this area. So that's why I'm going to keep it in mind. I've seen some ideas for buys. I tried to describe why I think those were not valid. Let's take a look here. So buys were not valid even at the break of the high of the 1 hour candle. You can see on the time frame, resistance formed, then buys are not valid at all, and you entered sells based on that for price to continue down. Beautiful. Oh yeah, let's take a look at this. This candle didn't even close like a good solid candle to continue bullish. Faris from the Gulag. Raja, please take a look at my analysis for UJ. The range is too small. 100%. 100% the range is way too small. We have a really small range on UJ. That's what we have right over here too. We have a very, very small range. This is like a 9-10 pip range over here. Not even worth it. You know, below this range, you have another 13, 14 pip range. But this is UJ, right? You got to get used to the small movements on USDJPY. Just like pound dollar. Pound dollar is also in a range over here, so we're waiting. Let's see here. Let's get 12 pip range, 17 pip range. If you're scared to trade, you're not prepared enough to demo trade or use very small lot sizes. People who are scared, it's because they're using the wrong lots, because losses are too much for you to lose. Yes, that is true. Let's take a look at this paper trade here on gold. Oh, when was this? Was this in the London session? Oh yeah, no, this was in Asian session last night. All right. Where did it go? Oh, right here. Close bearish, confirmation resistance 30 minutes before Asian session in a downtrend. Asian open price broke below the low. Price made a low over here. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, that was very nice. There was a lot of volume in gold last night then. This thing fell almost like 200 pips over here. That was Biden's stimulus news. Okay. Let's take a look here. So we have Fed chair speaking later on at 12 p.m. Other than that, I think that's it. We got retail sales for tomorrow, and that's it. Biden tells Congress allies aid maybe about $2 trillion. Wow, that should prop gold even more down. We should be moving further bearish than on gold. You know, because if they're pumping stimulus into the market, that means more money is going to the people, and that, I mean, from a perception, that makes dollar strong, you know, even though that's going to increase inflation down the road, but it makes dollar strong in perception. So that should push gold down. So let's see if we can break this low or not. $2,000 paychecks. Wow, crazy. Can you imagine the country goes in lockdown and the government gives you $2,000? That's what happened here. That's what happened here in Canada. You know, they gave $2,000 a month for 4 months straight. So, yeah, it's crazy. Per house. So if you have 4 people living in your home, all 4 of them can get $2,000 a month. So the household is making $8,000 a month. But then, you know, what they said was that at the end of the day, they're like, okay, we're going to see that who was eligible for that money and who wasn't. So if you were not eligible for that money and you spent it, you got to pay it back. Government is not stupid, man. Government plays the long-term game. All right, let's take a look at this. Just says GBP AUD. So we have a resistance here, looking for buys above here, 30 pip range. No trade range and sells below this area to continue down. I like it. Almost like the same situations on other pound pairs here as well. So we shall see. Let's see how big this range is over here. This is from 141,930 to over 8 pips range. Not that big at all. Have you been to Africa? No. Hey, hello, nice to see you. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is candle break previous high and enter a trade. Expecting price to continue as we're approaching pre-NY session. Loss less than 5% because of fail, because of probability. No, it didn't really fail. When you look at the way this 30-minute candle closed, this one right over here, and that this was the close of the 1 hour candle. So if this 30-minute candle closed like this, then that was basically, you should have left the trade alone. And if you look on the 15-minute time frame, we can see that this 15-minute candle broke the high, but it closed bullish. Now when the next 15-minute candle closed bearish, that's when you should have said, okay, you know what, we're gonna get out of the trade, because that was also the 1 hour candle close. And if you look at the 1 hour candle closed like a weak bullish candle, so less probability for price to continue down. So if you hit your stop loss there, I think that could have been avoided by closing the full position right over here before the stop loss. But even though you manage the risks, I think that's pretty good. Rich countries are enjoying the pyramid of the fake dollar at the expense of other countries. My country gave us $25 once for COVID relief. Wow. In Pakistan, they gave $12. No, not $12, $120. $120. Yeah, it becomes like 12,000.
Here, they ask for money. Government asks for money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's weird, you know, the way it's all happening. Like it's like a handout, you know. It's legit like a handout because we know businesses here, right? So what's happening in Canada is, I can only speak about Canada, right? Businesses here can apply for a $60,000 loan, and the government is going to give you $60,000, right? But then here's the catch, right? You'll have to pay back, let's say by the end of 2022, if you can pay back 40,000, you get to keep the 20,000, right? If you can pay back 40,000, you get to keep the 20,000. But that's the incentive, right? So when someone's given an incentive like that, the businesses say, okay, you know what? We'll take the 60,000. We'll pay back, no problem. So when they take the 60,000, you have lockdown in 2020. You have lockdown in 2021, right? And moving in 2022, no retail business is going to be open enough for a whole year to save 40,000 to pay it back. Impossible, you know. And what happens is that by the end of 2022, if you cannot pay back that loan from 2023, there's going to be a 5% interest per month on that loan. So the government's like, okay, here's the money, and then you know, government goes
Hey, good morning, Roger.
Hey, good morning.
I just have a question on GJ, the 15-minute candle. So the one at 4:30, if you go on the 15 minutes, you see the first candle that created the support? Yeah. So if you took the candle after that as a trade, is that a good trade or not?
That's a good trade. That's a good trade. And the reason why is because overall the trend is bullish, right?
Yeah.
And price came down. This candle closed with no wick at the bottom. So
and then we created the support.
Exactly. So no wick means no range. So there's a high probability for price to go up in an uptrend at a support. You got your confirmation, and it basically worked out perfectly.
Okay, beautiful. Thanks.
Yeah, because even though if you targeted, you know, 142, 150, 160, you had a 26 pip range, but your risk was like what, 7 pips?
Yeah, and then you still got halfway almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, beautiful. Thanks.
The 30-minute, if you waited for 30-minute, it was a way too big 30-minute candle. So yeah, 15-minute would have been much more sense.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it, Roger.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey Raja, about that question, what if there is a wick below the bearish candle? Will you still take the trade?
I can't talk about that because there is no wick.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but I'm just trying to figure it out, like,
It depends.
will you take it or not?
I don't know. It depends at that time to see how the 4-hour was closing, how the 30-minute was. Because, you know, like when we talk about what if this, what if that, then there are like hundreds of different scenarios. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So we can only go off of what's printed here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If there was a wick,
thank you, boss.
I would, with a lower risk, you know.
Yeah, because this situation happened a lot. Like, I guess yesterday also happened, but it was like I didn't also take it because of the 15 minutes and I didn't trust it. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Yeah, no problem. See, you saw this happen before, and if it happens again and again and again, then you're going to be more confident in executing. Can the community outlook in my FX book be used as a confluence with price action when swing trading? Need an experienced trader's perspective. Hey, I'm not experienced at all. Let me just get that out of the way. I don't know what community outlook is, but when we look at the Chinese indicator, this is my community outlook. So they're all saying that we are just ranging over here. We are ranging over here. Let's take a look at this analysis here, and then I'm going to show you guys something else. So we got a minor resistance. If we break above, we can continue moving, looking for shorts below this area. going all the way down over here. I like this. I have almost like the same analysis over here. So we shall see. There was a website we used to use sometimes, and it was called, so we go to google.com. I think it was Oanda Open Positions. It was, I think it was this one. Oh yeah, it was this one. So most people are long on gold. Oh wow. Interesting. Interesting. We shall see what happens. How do you control your psychology after killing your account? Do you take a step back and take a new account, or you tell yourself that you want to recover your losses? Well, here's the thing. First, you look at it logically, right? You look at it logically what happened. If you look at it logically and you're like, okay, I accidentally did it, because if you thought, that was another account, then you're like, okay, I mean, if I knew it wouldn't have happened, so let's just move along. Let's just restart the journey and continue on, right? Second thing is, if you overtraded and you lost the account, and then you got to start to look at your winners, all the winners you've had. If all your winners were systematic winners and you knew exactly what the trades were doing, then you're a good trader. The only thing that you messed up there was because you overtraded, and logically, when you overtrade, you blow the account. That's pretty normal. It happens, right? Third thing you want to look at is, did you over risk? Did you over leverage yourself? Because normally, like logically speaking, when you over leverage yourself, there's a higher possibility you're going to lose your account at that time too. So in either case, I think just restart and just stop thinking about, to make those losses back. Because the more you think about to make the losses back, I mean, the worse it's going to get. Because then you're going to be chasing losses. So what I tell guys is to just chase consistency. Like right now we see pound yen is ranging. No, gold is ranging, so gold is ranging, right? We see pound yen is ranging, pound yen is ranging. We have our resistance up over here at 142.030, and we have our support down over here at 141.820. And we know if price is going to break up, we can continue moving bullish. If we break below, we can continue moving bearish. And this is where our efforts are going to go in to see where price can move into. All right, I blew a $100,000 FTMO challenge today. Oh well, good thing it was fake 100,000 and not real. Let's take a look over here. Do you have Telegram channel for alerts? No. Since beginning of 2021, it's been nothing. 2 weeks have been disciplined, but for me, important was reduce the lot size to a point where I'm not chasing money, just pips, because money was messing up with me. Yes, that's another thing that happens. I never look at the money I'm making. I never look at the money. I only look at where my entry is and where I can expect price to go. That's it. Money is irrelevant when you're trading. The first thing is you're just visualizing where you want price to go. If price can go towards, let's say if price breaks above 142.040 and we can move up towards, let's say 142.180, right? That's 13 pips. So whether you use a 10-cent lot, that's going to be $13. You use a $1 lot, that's going to be $130. You use a $5 lot, $10 lot, whatever that is, right? Lot sizes are just subjective. Right, but what you're chasing is you're chasing a move that you think is going to happen. And if you see one thing working over and over and over again, it's just natural you're going to start increasing your lot sizes. Like you can go from 1 lot to 5 lots in 4 months, and that's a huge change, man. Imagine you're trading 1 lot, in 5 months you can move on to 5 lots. 5 lots and 6 lots, and that's when things just start to change, because you move from making $100 or $150 moving on to like $500 a day, $550 a day. Man, I used to work on the rigs, and our driller used to make $500 a day, working 13 hours a day, all day long. So imagine you stay disciplined for 5-6 months, and you can get to that point where you're making the same amount in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, that's power, you know. But sometimes what happens is that guys over leverage themselves too fast, too quick, you know, and then they fall. So you just got to give it time. I lost what I made last week. This week, I've been mentally defeated and focused on making it back, but I agree, you are right. You should be patient and trust the process. Yeah, no problem. The thing is, this week has been pretty hard. I'm not going to lie. Like pound yen in New York session has been very, very difficult. It's been a little bitch, man. It just ranges. I mean, I've just been paper trading and I'm like, man, there are no trades. Like yesterday, there was no trade. Day before yesterday, pound yen was choppy. There was like a little small trade here and there. Mostly like yesterday we saw Euro JPY move. Day before yesterday we saw gold move. Monday we saw gold move again. Pound yen didn't really move this week. I mean, the only moves we had in pound yen were at London session. That's it. I mean, London session guys are lucky, man. You guys are getting nice moves in London session. We're eating the shit in New York session. Do you wait for candle to close above 142.030? Yes. Yes, I would wait. I would wait. Or if I can see a bullish candle closing closer to 142.020, then I'm going to wait for that high to be broken to continue moving bullish. Okay, what's going on over here? Nathan Beard. GJ is above 30-minute resistance, but not 15-minute support. I know 30-minute is stronger, so what do you think about executing on this? Executing what? We have a resistance right over here. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you think about Rock ZFX? I'll show you what I think about Rock ZFX. One moment here. So if I go over here, and if I search Rock ZFX, oh, I was blocked. I was blocked by him for a long time. You guys remember, right? For a very long time, I was blocked by this guy. Blocked me for a long time, and now he unblocked me. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, he's a good guy now. He's a good guy. I don't know what the problem was, but I guess I'm unblocked now. That's crazy. Yeah, he's a good guy now. All right. But here's the problem. The problem is most of the traders on Instagram, they don't show any terminals or even in videos, they don't show any terminals, they don't show any withdrawals, they don't show any like profits they're making. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember, Raja. Like when I told you maybe you could have him as a guest, and you said they blocked you.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he saw the email and he unblocked, I don't know, but I sent him an email, he didn't respond to me until now.
Oh yeah, probably that's why.
Possible, I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Let's see here. Hey Raja, hope you're doing really well. Can you watch over my trade and tell me if I managed it right, or would you do something different? Alright, let's take a look over here. We have this 15-minute starting over here. Let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame. 30 minutes still bullish over here. Yeah, we just want price to break above this area for it to continue moving bullish. During that time, let's take a look at this chart over here, sent in the gulag. This is took an entry over here, closed 50% at break even, perfect. Letting the rest run, and you got stopped out at break even over there. It's pretty good. The thing is, this wasn't enough range right over down here. Yeah, I guess so, but it's a good thing you manage your risk over there too. Who is Raghav. He was our old friend and then he left. We don't like to talk about Raghav at all. Brings back bad memories. He was the omen. What do you think about the mutations of the C word? Yeah, they're pretty valid mutations. There will be mutations everywhere of the C word, but slowly we're coming up towards 142.040, and we want to see whether we're going to break up over here or not. I mean, ideally, what I want to see here, ideally, I would want to see a candle to close bullish, something like this, and then expect the next candle to continue moving up. That's what I want to visually, that's something I want to visually see. If I can visually see a candle closing like this, then I can visualize the next candle moving up. But if that candle doesn't close like this, and if that candle just keeps moving up like this, then there's going to be a problem, right? Then I'm going to be like, well, come on, GJ. I mean, give us some sort of confirmations here. So for me, it's really important to visually see what's going on. It broke the highs on the 30-minute time frame. Let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame. No, it did not broke the highs on the 30-minute time frame. Where do we see it's broken the highs on the 30-minute time frame? It haven't. These are the wicks right over here. These are the highs. It's still below this area, and it doesn't matter because this is a rejection area on the 30-minute. And that rejection is a resistance area on the 15-minute time frame. So this is a very delicate situation. So we have to wait for price to move up over there, because if you look on the 4-hour time frame, if we move beyond 142.040, 030, then there's a very high possibility this 4-hour candle will continue up to fill this wick, and that's going to be the trade over here. So we have to be very, very careful. Do you ignore the current 1-hour candle having no bottom wick? No. Not at all, because if we break above this area, then there's a probability we're going to continue moving up. So it doesn't matter if this candle has a wick below or not. But I mean, if we reject this area, then price can come down. And if it breaks below this low, then the 1-hour candle is going to start having a lower wick, right? So plus also we see these rejections over here. So right now we're just preparing ourselves to see if we're going to break above to continue up or not. Hey Raja, do you eat pork? No. Let's take a look at this chart over here. That was an irrelevant question. Sometimes, I answer questions like that. We need to have a candle close above or at these wicks because price may reject and form an M pattern. Yes, I don't know what the M pattern is, but we would like to see price break above this area. How often do you use the 5-minute chart? 5-minute chart is used when there's a lot of volume in the market, right? If you look at the 5-minute chart over here, it's still at resistance here. So when there's a lot of volume, when we have big candles on 30-minute time frame, big candles on 15-minute time frame, that's the best time to use the 5-minute time frame at that point. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is selling your JPY. Entered as 30-minute candle was retesting. Ooh, beautiful. Coming down over here TP1, and then we can come down further to TP2. Let's take a look at your JPY here. I haven't really looked at your JPY here today. Oh yeah, it looks like we're moving down at this point. If you want to move this zone over here, move on to the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, it seems like we should be coming down to the support. There's momentum here, there's range over here. This range is like what, 9 pip range. 9 pip range. See if there's volume, and if we start breaking below the support, then your range becomes bigger, right? Because with volume moving into New York Open, our range becomes bigger into like 19-20 pips. But now you want these 15-minute candles to continue moving bearish all the way down. Gold is also coming up to this level here at 1844, deciding either we're going to move up or move down. So we're going to have to wait and see. Hey, Wix don't lie. I heard very good risk management advice on Chart with Trade podcast. If you are having 1 or 2 red days, next day sizing down is much better. Yes. Okay, slowly we're coming up here. We got 9 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to close. Let's take a look at this chart over here for a little bit. what's happening over here. Based on Forex structure, because we are breaking. Okay, what's happening here? Clean range for sells below this area, clean range for buys above this area. Okay, makes sense. I think instead you can also look for buys above 142 here as well, because you got enough range over here. And then if you enter somewhere, let's say in this vicinity, and price moves up, then you don't have to worry about entering another trade up over there. Then you can start to think about, okay, how can I add a position for price to continue moving up? So that way you're going to be double dipping in the buy over there. I thought no bottom wick on a bullish candle was good, meaning high bullish volume. Yes. Yes, but you know, we're still waiting over here. We are still waiting. When should you put your zones on the wicks and not the end of the bodies? There's no rule on that. Right over here, I have a zone at resistance, and that becomes, I mean, ironically, it just becomes the wicks here in the 30-minute time frame. So it's the same thing. You know, it's just like we're being much more cautious based on the 15-minute right over here. Do we have a guest tomorrow? Yes, I've contacted a few people, and let's see if we can get them on. I have a question, please. If we are taking an impulse entry, for example, buys, it should break a bullish candle's high. Yes, it should break a bullish candle's high. That is correct. What time frame should I be focusing on for intraday trading? I think the 1 hour time frame. The main thing is visualize where you think the 4 hour time frame is going to go, right? When you can visualize where the 4 hour time frame is going to go, then you can start to break down the 1 hour time frame, the 30-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame. Then you can do all of that. Because if you look on the 4 hour time frame here in pound yen, for example, and if you think it's going to continue up to fill this wick, then on the smaller time frames, we need price to break above this level over here. But if we think that this move up was an impulse move and we should continue down to retest this low over here, then on the smaller time frames we want price to break below the support 141.820 for price to then continue down over here in this 24 pip range. Can we get transparent FX Nick as a guest? I think we had Nick as a guest. Nick Sean FX, is that who we're talking about?
Oh, he's telling, man.
Oh, okay. I'll look into that. Oh, transparent FX. Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning, David.
I think he would have nice contributions.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. If you would be in trade and price would be bouncing 1 to 2 pips before your target for 10 pips, would you close it and let it run? I would secure 90%, 80% of position. You know, because there's been a lot of times when price has gone closer to my target and just kind of like starts wicking, start bouncing up and down. So that's where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to close it. And we can see here, this was a chart sent earlier on Euro JPY for price to move down right over here. And it looks like it's coming down to your TP1. I think at TP1, when you put stops at break even, you're anticipating price to fall further down. So that's going to be pretty good. Would you take shorts when that bearish hourly rejection candle occurred on hourly time frame, although the trend is bullish? After this, no. If I wanted to take shorts, I would have wait for a support to form and for that support to break for me to take shorts. All right.
Hey Raja, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Just wanted to point out, I looked on the 5 minutes on GJ, and it's respected that resistance level pretty hard.
Yeah, it's respecting that resistance level. Yeah, all it needs to do is break the support, and then we can continue moving down. This is going to be a pretty good trade below 141.800. Hey, I'm doing exactly what you do on GA, and it works much better than GJ. Consider trading GA? No, thanks. I'll stick to what I know. The worst thing I don't like, my biggest pet peeve is when when people say, hey, you should just start doing this, or you should start trading this, there's more money over here, there's more money over there. It doesn't matter. There's money everywhere. But it all depends on what you're comfortable with, right? I'm very, very, very comfortable with trading pound yen over here. And if I change towards pound AUD, I'm not comfortable with that because that's something I haven't looked at ever, never. You know, so for me to get comfortable with that, it's going to take a little while. And during that time, I'd be trading pound yen. You know, so that's why I just stick to what I know. But thank you, though. I appreciate it. Is it advisable to scalp BTC USD? Yeah, sure, you can do that, but it's extremely volatile. Let's take a look over here. So this is gold. Gold is still ranging over here. Looking at USD JPY. USD JPY is still ranging here. So let's bring up BTC. BTC USD. I don't even know where BTC USD is trading right now. 37,000. Okay, we've had a little bit of a move up over here. I mean, scalping is, I don't even know. I mean, price action may work, I think, on a 30-minute time frame and a 1-hour time frame, but it's just, right now it's just messy. So I don't even know when there's volume on BTC USD. Some people say it's in the Asian session, some say it's normally closer to the London session.
Raja, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If you invest your money on Bitcoin, what will you do? You buy the Bitcoin itself or you will trade it?
Probably gonna trade it. Yeah, probably gonna trade it.
Why?
In 2018, I was trading it, and I was trading it on the $1 lots, right? And what I saw was that Bitcoin was moving. All right, so let me just bring this up over here. BTC USD, right? So on a $1 lot, this is the thing. If Bitcoin is going to move from, let's say, 881 towards, let's say, 382, that's a change of $500, right? So on a one lot, that's going to be a gain of $500. So, like, you know, that way, that was the reason why I was trading it, because it was moving, let's say, like $200, you know, $500, $600. So we were making good money based on that, just by doing one lots. I mean, if you have a $10,000 account, you can do that no problem, because every move, I mean, look at these candles right over here. This is like it's like a $1,200 candle right over here. $1,200, $500 candle. So that's how I was trading BTC. I mean, this is like a $350 candle right over here. So if you have a 10-cent lot, you're making $35, you know, $40, but you have like a $1 lot. Look at this move here. This was like a $1,000 candle right over here. $1,000. So if that's one lot, that's $1,000 right over there. You know, but it also becomes risky because since the fluctuations are way too much over here, so you're putting more on the line as well. But like sometimes people don't realize how much they have on the line. You know, so that's why it becomes risky for, like, especially if you can't manage risk, because the fluctuations are pretty strong. With respects to holding it, let's say, I don't know who is writing that, Fernando. We can see your name, bro. But if you buy Bitcoin, let's say if you buy Bitcoin with $5,000, right? For you to gain at least 50%, you would want price to go from 37,000 all the way towards, I would say, like 44,000. That's when you're going to make 50% back. So, I mean, holding Bitcoin, that was like back in the day. If you held Bitcoin from 2016, 2017, you're doing good. Or if you held it from, like, you know, the beginning of, like the end of the last year, you still did good. But I think if you want to make really, really good gains on Bitcoin, you needed to continue moving bullish. I've noticed it moves a lot on weekends. Yes. Normally it's because, like, you know, people are trading it on the weekends. That's why there's a lot of volume there on the weekends. What headphones do you have? I have regular headphones. They are They're these gaming sort of headphones. Pretty good. Ooh, look at that. We're coming back up over here. We're breaking the highs over here. This is the new 30-minute candle starting at this point. Let's take a look at the 30-minute candle. So 30-minute candle is bullish over here. We're breaking the high of the bullish 30-minute candle at this point. Will it be a risky maneuver above 142.050? 142.050. We could have a 10 pip stop, and then we can anticipate price to continue on towards 142.200. Yeah, Logitech G Pro. Yeah, those are the ones. All right, sent a really bad chart earlier. I hope this is better. All right, we're gonna take a look at that. Okay, so we're coming up over here. It just needs to come up towards 142.050, and I think that's going to be the start of our bullish move going towards 142.200. Just got to cross above 142.050. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is okay, break above this resistance with candle confirmations to fill the 4-hour wick. Final TP over there, taking sells below this area. Looks good. Looks good. We just gotta come up above a little higher over here. So what makes this a valid one if it breaks the level? Well, the trend is bullish. 4-hour is bullish. Daily is also bullish. 30-minute is bullish. 1 hour is bullish. That's why it makes it valid. All time frames are bullish. So it's all subjective, right? It's all subjective. Right over here, it would make sense if we come above towards, 142.050, because 142.050 is the price above all these candles here to the left hand side. So that's why it makes sense over here. And another thing it makes sense is because the 30-minute candle is also bullish over here, and above this area would make it much more probable for it to continue moving up. Looking at your JPY, ooh, we did come down over here, but we rejected this support at this point. Came straight down to that support and rejected it. So we're going to keep an eye on pound yen over here and see if we're going to break above or not. Looks like pound USD may also be trying to break above. So we're going to keep a close eye on this one. Hey Raja, what do you think about IC Markets? I think IC Markets is one of the best brokers out there. Really good spreads, good customer service. They're really big. Yeah, they're pretty big. They're pretty good too. I used to use IC Markets for a long time. How much of your base your decisions off of the higher time frames? Like a lot, because if we look on the daily time frame, we're bullish. We're moving bullish. 4-hour candle is moving bullish. 1-hour candle is also bullish, but we have this sort of like a rejection here, so we're kind of like cautious there. 30 minutes also bullish. 15 minutes also bullish. It's pretty good. Now either we need this 15-minute candle to close and the next one to break above, or we need this 15-minute candle to break above 142.050. Right, so we got two situations here. Two situations. What's your opinion on Pepperstone? I think they're pretty good. No, I don't think they're good. I don't know nothing about them, but I know people who trade on them, and they have had no complaints so far. Hey, best broker in USA swipe free offers. There's no such thing as a swap free broker. Man, brokers have to make money. If brokers don't charge you swap, they don't charge you commissions, they don't charge you spreads, how are they going to make money? All right, still stopping over here, we're still waiting. What are the new things you are learning about FX nowadays? I'm learning a lot of new things. I think I have really systemized my trading. My trading is very systemized now, you know, like just waiting. If I see it, execute it. What I'm learning more is about liquidity. I'm learning more about, you know, like order flows and stuff like that, but that's related to the brokerage issues. So I'm learning more about that stuff here slowly. So just growing. All right, we're coming back up over here. 142.050. Need to cross that area for price to continue moving bullish. See, this is a very delicate situation over here. Extremely delicate situation. Hey, good morning, Raja. When making trading decisions on GJ, do you ever use the BXY for second confirmation? British Pound Currency Index? No, not at all. If I'm trading GJ, I'm only trading GJ. If I'm trading gold, I'm only trading gold. If I'm trading GU, I'm only trading GU. I don't like to look at other things because what I used to do was I used to look at the pound, I used to look at the dollar yen UJ, USDJPY, and I would trade USDJPY based on where gold is going, and it didn't really work at all for a long term. Because if gold would go down, I would just start taking buys on USDJPY for no reason. Yeah, and then I would say, well, why isn't this going up? Gold is going down. And then I would say to Ted, hey Ted, I thought gold and USDJPY were like inversely proportional. Why isn't it moving? And Ted would say, well, you retard, because there's a resistance over there on USDJPY. I'm like, oh yeah, makes sense. So I wasn't very good at in the beginning. Let's see here. Can you please explain what's your first intention with this method? Been correct more than or not, trying to stick to example of 1 to 3 RR trades. There's no such thing as, okay, so let me just put this out there, right? There's this illusion that people should only be focused on 1 to 3 risk reward, 1 to 4 risk reward, 1 to 2 risk reward. And during this process, you're so adamant on 1 to 3, 1 to 2 risk reward that you stop taking profits at 1 to 1 risk reward. You know, like a lot of times I get in arguments with people. They say, "Oh yeah, you only target 1 to 1. You're a shit trader." But I'm securing profits all the time. You know, like if you're aiming for 1 to 3 risk reward, let's say something is like this, right? So let's say you enter a position at 142.050 right over here. You stop losses below this area right over here, and you're looking at 1 to 3 risk reward somewhere right over here, right? And people are gonna get so stubborn with 1 to 3 risk reward that if price goes into 1 to 1, they will not secure positions at all. Price will go to 1 to 2 risk reward, they will not secure positions. They will hold that bad boy, you know, and then price will go all the way down, go through the stop loss and stop them out, you know. So that's why I tell guys, hey, listen, whenever you're trading, whether your risk reward is 1 to 2, 1 to 10, 1 to 20, if it goes to 1 to 1, you secure that position. Right? You secure position, close 80%, close 70%, whatever you want to close, just secure it and leave the rest running. And that's going to continue running for your take profit, and you're going to have a good day. But if it comes back down to hit your stop loss at break even, you've lost nothing, but you've gained 1 to 1 risk reward. That's very important. All right, so we crossed it, 142.050. Stop loss should be below this current 15-minute candle. And you're anticipating price to continue all the way up towards, you know, 142.200. But at the same time now, when we look at it from a perspective of risk management, we have to go down to a smaller time frame here, and now we want this candle to stay above the low of the previous 5-minute candle. And then we can anticipate price to continue moving bullish. But if we start breaking the low over here, then I think that's going to be a good opportunity to close 50% to manage risk at that point and to reduce your, like, you know, risk in the trade over there. But overall, like, you know, we came up towards 142.050, something that we were talking about. Candle is about to close in 4 minutes. So as long as you stay above, you know, this area here, we should continue moving bullish. Sure to be a good one. Should be a good one, my friend. Why didn't you wait for the candle to close for entry this time? Because, you know, volume is slowly coming into the market. We're moving up towards, oh, yes, what's up? Oh, I'll be right back.
Yo, guys, anyone else waiting for the close?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the close. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's the safest.
Right now.
Yeah, I've been
Moving crazy.
watching this week and noticed that a lot of time, even if it closes above, it'll come back and tap that.
We can have a
That
retest.
resistance. So I'm probably gonna wait for a little bit of drawdown on the next candle.
Yeah, probably 15-minute close and then a little bit of a retracement and then maybe enter like that. That's what I'm gonna be looking for personally because this week I've been seeing GJ like the volume, the impulse entries, even though it breaks, it always comes back this week. So it always does a retracement. That's what I've seen from the current market. So I'm gonna wait for it to close, a little bit of retracement then maybe enter.
Oh, look at that. See, now it's coming down.
Yeah, I'm looking in.
So if it breaks this low, managing risk at that point. But also very careful about this close as well, because if it closes below 142, 0.30, 0.20, then basically we're letting the entire trade go, because at that point it's closing below resistance and it doesn't make sense to hold it.
I was literally gonna say the same thing. Wait for the make sure the 15-minute close is above the resistance as well. Literally was gonna say the same thing.
Preparing for a better entry for us.
Come on, GJ.
Hello, sir. If trading on 1 hour and the level is broken at the start of the hour, would you wait for the candle to close or jump right away? What if you jump and the candle closes below the level? Well, if you jump, just like we jumped over here, and if the candle closes below this level, then we're basically jumping out of the trade. Because, you know, at that time it's closing below resistance and it doesn't make any sense to hold the trade. So if you look on the 5-minute over here, see this candle is coming down. If it closes bearish, you're closing 50%. You're taking risk off, you're like, you know, accepting a partial loss, and then you're letting the rest of the trade run. Because even then, if you close 50% right over here and the next candle comes down to hit your stop loss, you've lost less than what you anticipated to lose at that point. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is impulse entry, break of the resistance, bullish candle. Yeah, that's something what we're looking at over here as well. Candle's closing in about 5 seconds over here. We have 15 minutes to NY open. Okay, let's take a look at the 5-minute over here. 5 minutes like this. Now we want this candle not to break the low over here. If it breaks the low over here, then there's a problem and we need to close 50% position. So right there, I'd be closing 50% position at that point. Right over here. And let the rest run. Because if the next one okay, so here's the thing, right? So if you're closing 50% right over here in like a loss, and if price starts breaking the high over here again, then that's an opportunity where you can add your position back for price to continue moving up. But at this point, you're closing 50%, you're managing risk, and that's it. But if you start breaking above over here, you can add that position back. So, you know, risk management, we got the 30-minute candle here as well. It's good, that is bullish. It's about to close in 14 minutes here as well. So I think that's going to be a... We're still good to continue moving up as long as we keep respecting, like, you know, this 142 level here. Can I have your thoughts on my plan here today? Let's take a look here. This is breaking the first 30-minute candle. It could retrace back. We'll wait for the 30-minute candle to close. Not going to take any impulse buys. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a great idea. So you're going to wait for the candle to close for you to take a buy. That's still pretty valid. You know, so there's two sides to the coin. One, you take impulse entries, you anticipate price to continue moving. Two, you wait for the candle to close. And once you wait for the candle to close, what can happen is price can just continue moving. And then you can say, okay, you know what, let me see how you could have entered. And then you start looking at impulse entries and you start learning more and more. But when you wait for the candle to close, that's going to be a much better confirmation entry at that point. But since we entered with impulse entries, we're managing risk over here, right? We're managing risk. And if let's take a look at the 15-minute, yeah, it's still good. So we're going to keep this in over here.
Hey Roger, quick question. I think I'm about to ask like the same question he just asked, but on the 30-minute, if we close above 142 0.30, would buy still be valid to go up to like at least like 142 155?
Yeah, it's going to be still valid at that point.
That was my question. So, because obviously you have your resistance at the very top of that 15 minutes range, why not put it like at the 30 minutes range? If you go on 30 minutes, the resistance will be slightly lower.
Right here?
No, so below that, where the 30 minutes, so where the 30 minutes, previous 30 minutes closed, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that as well. Huh?
Yeah, we were being more what's the word? Precise.
Cautious?
Okay,
yeah.
Cautious.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, thanks. And then in terms of execution now, because obviously email liquidity week down this current 15 minutes. If we were to say put a buy above the week of this current 15 minutes, would that be a good execution? So,
like right over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Like,
thanks.
If you haven't entered by now, and if you're looking at that idea, that'd still be a good idea. But if you're looking right over here now in the smaller time frame, we're continuing breaking down. So I don't think this will be a good idea to hold the buys because, like, you know, we're still coming down, breaking the lows over here. So this is the point where you have to realize that whether you're going to close the whole thing and wait for a break of this area. And break of this area is going to be the same thing you mentioned, the break of the current 15-minute candle. Because look, this is at 142.060, and if you look at the 15-minute time frame here, this is also the same thing. 142.0. Oh no, that was 0.60.
No, that's the high of the previous 15 minutes.
Yes, right here.
But then you'd expect from that liquidity, if the candle turns back bullish, then you'll expect to go higher, to make a higher high.
Yes, exactly.
Right, to continue bullish.
But at this point, I'd be closing everything because just by looking at this,
I'm not in a trade.
Yeah, it just seems like it's coming down. It's below this range here now, so yeah, that was a no-go. So that was the 5 pip loss? Not bad.
Coach, don't you think it should still be good as long as it doesn't break the 141937 level, which is the previous 30 minutes?
No, not really, because now it's rejecting that level. So instead of having stops down over there, you know, you should be more cautious that, okay, if we're rejecting this level, then, you know, maybe there's a less probability it's going to continue moving up.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at this one over here. First TP over here, this body closed above resistance. So it looks like you entered the trade. Nice, so you got your pips over there on GA. Nice, very nice.
Yeah, that was my paper trade. I was like, you know, just I'm in the right track or not. Like, that's why I just want to your opinion.
Yeah.
It looks like it worked out.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Any thoughts why this trade did not work out? No, not really. I mean, the 15-minute candle closed the way it closed. 5-minute candle closed bearish. We managed risk at that point. And next one broke the low, managed the risk. This one came below and just close the entire trade. The only thing we can control is risk. We can't control profits. You know, if price goes in profits, perfect, but we can control risk. So risk was controlled over there and looks like it's still back in the range over here. How long should I stick to the bias? As long as price stays above your range, right? So if candles just stayed above 142.030, the bias would still be present, right? But since we started closing below this resistance, then the bullish bias, it slowly went away. It diminished at that point. So there's no point in holding a losing trade, knowing it's going to come and hit a stop loss. Because most time what happens is that when price goes in drawdown, we know it's going to hit stop loss, right? Most times we know that. So that's the point where you should come on and say that, okay, I know it's going to hit my stop loss. What am I supposed to do at this point? Am I supposed to reduce my risk? Am I supposed to take some positions off? Or should I let the entire position hit my stop loss? But if you managed risk the way we said to do it right now, you left the trade with the lower loss than you came in with in the beginning. So that's why impulse entries are extremely risky entries. So whenever you take impulse entries, you should always be prepared to manage risk at that point. That's the difference between taking impulse entries and waiting for candles to close above resistance. Because if we waited for the candle to close above resistance, then there was no trade at this point. But if you're willing to take that risk, and if you know you can manage risk in that, then you know impulse entries, they can work very well, because we know when there are high volatile pairs like pound yen or gold, they continue moving, right? So that can reward you in that way. But looks like in this case it didn't really work over here. Would you still wait for price to break down into the 141.820 zone below over here? Yes. Yeah, because this is a support right over here. Can you explain the topmost resistance and why you placed it on the wicks instead of the candles? Yeah, let's take a look over here. So this is placed based on this area right here to the left hand side. Right over here. I am really stuck on what counts as a clean range or not, and on what time frame is the thing that makes me miss out on trades. I think you need to send more charts. You need to send a chart so we know what you consider as clean range and what's going on. Because right now this is a clean range here to the left hand side. So GU is also ranging, gold is also ranging over here. We got resistance at 1844. We got support down at 1837. A whole lot of range. After almost a year, I made my own quote and it made a header for my trading plan. Trading success will be a matter of your taking a loss and what you do after taking that loss. Yes, that's true. I've seen a lot of good traders really hit the bottom after they take their loss. You know, like you would do well for the whole week, a week and a half, and that one day when you take that one loss, everything just hits the shitter. You know, everything just hits the fan, and you just like go into the cycle of like trading and trade after trade after trade, and you just move into over trading at that point. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Waiting for 30-minute candle to close above on gold makes sense because we got a clean range over here to the left hand side on gold. Okay, what's this? Raja, please can I have an important question? If you're able to answer, I'm thankful. Can you talk a little bit about first and second half of candles, breaks of ranges in prior candles, highs and lows?
Rachel, or a mirror.
Oh. Yeah, that's a very long discussion, you know, and I don't think we have enough time here to have that discussion. But if we try to have the discussion, I think so when this 30-minute candle was coming up, right? This 15-minute was the first half of the 30-minute candle, and as it closed bullish, this was the second half of the 30-minute candle. So if this broke the high over here, we would have had a very high probability for price to continue up. But I guess we looked at the 5-minute time frame, we managed risk. Next one broke the low, we closed the entire position, and that was it. But was really expecting it to, like, this one to continue bullish, but it didn't. So we managed risk at that point. There's a difference between a good losing trade and a losing trade. A losing trade is where you take a loss without managing risk. A good losing trade is where you manage risk and you lose less than you anticipated to lose. Because here's the thing, if you come to the charts with having, let's say, like a 2% risk, right? You're like, hey, like, you know what, I'm going to lose 2%, and if I lose 2%, I'm good, I'm done for the day, I'm going to call it a day, and I'm going to come back tomorrow. But instead of losing 2%, if you lose 1%, then you're like, okay, you know what, I'm still in the game. I've lost 1%, I still have another chance at the trade today. So that's the beauty of managing risk. Let's take a look at this EUR/JPY trade over here. This was a sell, taking sells as we broke the low here on the 1 hour time frame. Sort of like a clean traffic here, and then support down over here at the bottom. Very nice. We saw this trade earlier on. Someone sent their EUR/JPY sells as well. It came down and it rejected that level and came back up. What makes you think you are successful in trading? I don't think I'm successful at all. I think I'll be successful when I move on to 100 lots, and 50 lots. I've done 50 lots once or twice, and that's it. That's a big barrier, man. For me, a big barrier is 25 lots. Can't go above 25 lots. But this year, I'm gonna try to go up to 50 lots. We'll see what happens.
Hey Raja, it's Mon. I got a good quick question I want to ask. So on the 15-minute time frame, you see how the candle flipped from bullish and then it went bearish? Would you consider that a good selling trade? Because we're at resistance on top, and then the candle couldn't break above, and then it went down. Would you take that as an impulse entry?
From where? Like what price?
From the break of the 15-minute.
Low right over here?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you don't have enough range. You got a 7-pip range over here down to the support, and then you have like like there's a support over here. So we don't know whether we're gonna break the support and continue down or not.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty risky at that point.
Yeah, but if it was on a bigger range, that would have been a good trade, right?
Oh yes, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, because at that point, you would say that, okay, price tried to break up, it moved beyond the resistance, and it closed back within the range. So if it tried moving up and couldn't move up, the most logical direction where it should go now is down. So if this was a bigger range than 7 pips, 100% this would have been a very good trade to continue down.
Yeah, because I tried to take the buys and then I managed my trade and I got out with 0.6% loss, and I was like, that could have been a better trade if it was a bigger range. I just wanted to ask and confirm my idea.
Yeah, I know, it makes sense.
Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. Ooh, wrong chart coming from Zoom. Come on, Zoomers. Sent the wrong chart. Let's just reanalyze Euro Yen over here. So looking at the 1 hour time frame, it's back at the support, the very, very strong support over here. Looking further left, we have the support down at 126, 140, almost like 10 pips away. This is extremely difficult price action here. I mean, if we look on the 4 hour time frame, we see this major support down over here around 126, 100, and that's where we can expect price to move down to on your JPY. Break below the support, move through all this mess, fill this wick over here, and tap into this area here. Look on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, we'll need to see a break and close, and the next candles we can continue moving down. Your JPY had a nice trend yesterday as well. What's the best pair to trade when London session closes, in your opinion? I think Euro JPY is good, Pound JPY is good, USD JPY, Gold is good. There's still some volume at that point by London close. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is Pound Yen. It took 5 tries on the 30-minute candle to break 142. Sells will be taken on 8 a.m. NY open. If the candle close below, will be broken. Let's take a look here on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, I think you're right. Ted, I think you're right. Ted Jr., I'm going to call you Ted Jr. I think you're absolutely correct. That if we couldn't break up, and if we start breaking below, there's a very high possibility with volume we can continue moving down, and then we can break the support and then continue further down to 141,720. I think you're absolutely right, because there hasn't been volume, right? Because if you look pre-New York there was no volume. This is NY Open right now, and NY Open is supposed to have volume. We rejected this after London Open. We rejected it at pre-NY, and if we're rejecting this area at like 2 high volume times, and if we start breaking below, then I think we can continue moving bearish. You know, so at the same time, we're keeping both biases in mind. We're keeping the buys in mind, and we're keeping the sells in mind, right? But so far, I've moved my resistance from the 15-minute down towards the 30-minute, because now this is a much stronger confirmation, because we have stronger rejections over here. So these zones are all subjective anyway. Hey, not sure if you checked the YouTube chat, but thanks, man. Had a really bad start to the week. Has to just walk away from screens 2 days, but today gained 12% on my account with risk management. Oh, nice. 12%. Beautiful. Can we look at USD JPY? Yes. Oh, it's breaking up over here. See, this is what I wanted on Pound Yen. To break and close above, and the next candle to break the high to continue moving bullish. It's got a 10 pip range here to the wick fill over here. It's going to come up to fill this wick over here. This is what I wanted to see on Pound Yen. Candle close above, next one breaks the high, you take an entry, and price will have a very easy move going up to fill this wick. GU is coming down. Looks like Pound Yen will also start breaking the low. If we start breaking the low, we can continue moving bearish. Yeah, looks like the moves are coming in to go bearish. Let's take a look on the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour candle is also bearish, closing below that area. Looking at the 4 hour candle. 4 hour candle is also sort of like rejecting. So this is going to be a important waiting period at this point. Let's take a look at gold. Is gold also dropping? Gold is also coming down to support. Looks like if gold breaks below 1837, 1836, we can eventually come down to fill this wick at 1829. We got unemployment claims coming in as well. Man, this is going to be interesting. Let's take a look over here. Thursday, we have, oh yeah. They're looking at good numbers, 785 from 787. So lower the number, that's good news. Do you watch Joe Rogan podcast? Yes. Actually, Joe Rogan basically inspired me to start these live streams. Because, you know, like he has podcasts almost every day, you know, and he enjoys it. So I was like, I enjoy trading. Why don't we just start these live streams at the same time? All right, we're slowly coming down over here. Once we break below, I think there's a very high possibility we can continue moving bearish. GU is also at that support, delicate situation. Pound Yen is also starting to break the low. But if we break the low, I think we can continue down.
Does this mean we're going to continue bearish?
We should, yeah.
I'm still not confident. I'm still not confident of in this sells. Probably below 141.820 would be a much better idea. This is still in the range, going with our original plan. Shouldn't we consider the most recent resistance for the upper resistance, or are we putting it on the candles back to increase range? No, we're just making it relevant to where the candles are right now. That's what we're doing. We're just making it more relevant. Do you always use break and retest method when taking trades? Sometimes, but right now, this is just anticipation that we're moving in NY open and there hasn't really been any volume during pre-NY. You know, but the only problem is that this is a 7 pip range, which makes it a little bit difficult to kind of like execute with confidence. You know, but if you look at the range below this area, this is almost like a 10 pip range, 11 pip range, and with volume we can continue further down towards, you know, 141,600. That could be our ultimate target. But I still think, see, this is risky, so that's why I'd be using like a smaller risk. But then again, you're expecting volume to break below 141,820 to continue moving bearish, further bearish over here. Because we have a lot of rejections here in high volume times, and you know, when we have rejections over here, the most logical position where price can go is going to be the opposite way. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is buy. How could I have managed this trade? Total loss $541. Close 50% right over here. That's the only thing you could have done at that point. Close 50%, closed everything. So that's good. You know, so if you lost less than what you anticipated to lose, that's still pretty good. You know, so if your risk was, let's say, 700 euro or 800 euro, you closed out with 500 euro, that's good. Because whenever you're managing risk, right? Whenever you're taking a trade, I'm suspecting that you know exactly how much you're risking at that point. You know, you're okay with that risk. But if you can get out of that trade with like a lower risk, that's even better. Quick question. Do you wait for 5-minute support at XL confirmation to those impulse buys earlier? No. That was only based on the fact how the candles are moving above, you know, 142.050. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Close 50% at 1-to-1. Pound yen buys worked out. Did I wait too long to enter? How could I have gotten a better entry? No, I think it was a pretty good entry. Your stop was below this candle over here. So I think maybe you could have had your stop below this candle's wick at this point. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Wait for 15 minutes, didn't like how it was breaking, close full position at -6 pips. My question was meant for the uppermost resistance. See, saying things like the uppermost and lowermost, they don't work over here. You need to mention price. Because if you can mention price, it's going to be much easier to figure out, right? Roham spamming, causing FOMO, buy Bitcoin. Hell no, bro. Man, Roham is always saying buy Bitcoin. Even when it's dropping $1,000, he's still saying, oh, buy Bitcoin. Roham, you got some bigger problems to worry about, man. Iran is not in the good books of the US.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to cut it early today. Gotta get going to the airport, but I'm headed to your time zone, Raja. So what time is it? The live stream start in your time zone? Is it like 6 in the morning?
6:30.
6:30. Oh, that's gonna be so nice for me.
Yeah, 6:30.
All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, take care.
All right, see ya.
Take care, man.
See you guys.
Be safe. Bye, David.
What's this? Chris Latour. Hey, Raja, could you please take a look at this chart? Where will you have secured profits? Let's take a look at this chart. Entered when we broke resistance. This arrow is pointing over here. I don't know why it's pointing over here. It should be pointing over here. Anyway, entry candle over here. Price came up. Should have secured profits over here. TP was 10 pips. Price came down. Got stopped out. Okay, still pretty good. You know, it didn't really come towards 10 pips, but the same thing we talked about, right? Whenever you go closer to your take profit, so I learned this the hard way, right? I learned this the hard way that a lot of times I would have like a 11 pip TP, 12 pip TP, 10 pip TP. Sometimes, you know, price would come into like 9.5 pips or 9.8 pips, wouldn't tap my take profit and would come back down to break even. You know, so I learned that the hard way, you know, because it happened a lot of times. And then I actually learned to like, okay, like, you know what, how can I instinctively take profits over there at that point? So instinctively taking profits at that point and saying that, hey, like, you know what, I feel like it's not going to hit my complete 10 pips, that comes with experience. You know, so the more you see it happen, the more you focus on your one pair, you start to understand how it moves, you know, the certain things it does at certain times. So, which is why in the beginning, I was gonna mention sells over here at this point, but then I realized, okay, like, you know what? No, it's a small range over here. So it's gonna be much better to wait for our original idea below 141.820 for price to continue down. Even though I do think this is the start of the move bearish, but I think pretty good sells are going to be below 141.820. You said sells below this level, but there's another support down there and it's only 11 pips, so it is still fine. Yeah, there's support over there, but if we break below 141.820 after rejecting this level, then that means there's going to be volume in the market, and then you're expecting volume to break below the support to continue down. Let's take a look at this trade over here. GU, waiting for this 15-minute candle to close below support. Yes, and then you can start taking sells for price to continue down, because this candle is still open at this point now. It's going to close here soon. Let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame. See, the 15-minute candle also closed above support. So it's a bit of a problem over here. You need to break below for price to continue down. We still got 15 minutes left for unemployment news to come in, so that's going to be interesting. We have a resistance at 142.200. 142.200, all the way up over there. Did we keep it as a resistance level on the candles way back there because there was not enough range for a buy had we kept it on the recent resistance? No, it's not that. It's just that we have a resistance up over here, which is why we kept it up over here. Keeping it here wouldn't make sense, but like, you know, we will still keep this area in mind because as price comes up, it can reject because we had rejections here before. All right, it's coming down over here very nicely. Should come down towards 141.820, and then after this, we should continue moving all the way down here and continue moving towards 141.600. I think with the new 4-hour candle, we can get towards 141.600. Gold is still in a range over here. I guess it's waiting for the news in like 12 minutes. What do we do at the 141,730 probably resistance on GJ? 141,730. 730. Oh, support. Nothing. You expect the support to break for price to continue moving bearish. I'm shorting GU, good money, take a look. I agree with that. I agree with the fact that pound should be dropping here in this New York session because we couldn't really break up, so we should continue dropping. Controller FX copy from Raja, yes. I think Controller FX is watching this right now and he has my stream open at the same time. He copies everything.
It's a copycat.
He copies zones. Bro, he copied my entire course. Everything.
Can you prove it?
No, I can't prove
How
it.
many copycats are there? A lot.
Too many to count. And that's why they don't have the exposure we have because we're original. Very nice. Man, once it crosses 141,820, it's going all the way down. This is gonna be a big bearish move on GJ here today.
Would it be bad to set stop loss at break even once it reaches 141,820?
If your entry is at 141,900?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can have your stops at break even at that point. Because once it comes towards 141,820, then you're not expecting it to retrace all the way up over there. You know, and especially slowly when you're moving into a high volume time, you're expecting the volume to continue. You know, if it starts bouncing from 141,820 and moves up to your break-even point, then that would mean that maybe price is now just going to start ranging between this, what's this, 15 pip range here? 20 pip range? Yeah, 15, 16 pip range. That's all it's going to mean. Because once it comes down over here, you're expecting it to continue pushing through this zone. I'm considering your teachings, but I focus on trading during London session. Shouldn't that matter? As with you, London is a different ball game. No, not really, because the candles, they move the same way. You know, like you learn about how candles are moving. You learn about, you know, like how to read candles, you know, times of volume. So the candles, they move the same way. And once you know how candles are moving, what confirmations to look for, it doesn't matter whether it's Asian session, London session, New York session. The only thing you need to trade is volume, right? The Asian session gets a little harder because there's less volume in the Asian session. If you're trading the Asian session and there's no volume, you can't practice as much, and you know, then you got to look at the 4-hour time frames and daily time frames. But as long as you have volume, I think you can read candles, and I mean, it's just going to take time when you break that profitability. The word I'm looking for, I don't know, but I'm going to use roadblock. Profitability roadblock. Gold is still ranging over here. We got news in about 10 minutes. GU has not really broken the low over here either. There are no sells at that point. This GJ is struggling at this point now. See, this 15-minute candle is struggling to break below this area over here, which is why now this becomes a very delicate situation.
Let's see with our emotions.
Yeah. 4-hour is also looking amazingly rejection. See, if this closes with the rejection, then there's a very high probability once we break below 141,820 for price to continue moving bearish.
Yeah, I'm looking closely to the 4-hour candle, to be honest, on GG.
Ooh, your JPY is breaking down. It's coming further down now. Control F just deleted all the chat. Yeah, it's alright. This is a nasty, nasty range now. Look at that rejection. Oh boy. Can you send Gulag Army to destroy? Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. What's the time right now? We got 8 minutes left for unemployment claims. See, this should be, I don't know. I mean, they're locking things down. Will this number still be good? Or will it be a higher number? I would suspect it should be a higher number, which would mean bad news.
Same.
Because if they're giving out stimulus to people, that means less people are working. You know, and if less people are working, then unemployment should be high over here. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
That's the Democratic's agenda to shut it down, and you know, so I do think it's going to be bad numbers.
I think the whole deal is to have everyone on a basic income program. This is something that's happening in Canada right now. They're really squeezing the middle class because, you know, the middle class was getting stronger when it comes towards, you know, like small businesses and stuff like that. And the only people are suffering right now are the middle class, you know, and slowly, like, you know, when people have mortgages to pay and all that, and when they can't really make any money, they're trying to bring everyone on a basic income support where everyone's going to get like a predetermined amount a month or every 2 weeks. And
sounds like socialism.
yeah, exactly. And based on that, if you can't pay your mortgage from that payment, then hey, you'll have to forfeit the house. Because there's no other way you're making money, right? So you have no choice.
And unemployment numbers, I think, also apply to the teachers that are not working because they keep trying to open schools and close it.
Yes.
So for each of the schools that are closed, I mean, how many teachers is that? That needs to be factored in as well.
Yeah, exactly. And man, it's going to be a very terrible time. And like, you know what I tell guys? I tell guys, hey, listen, 2021 is the year where you should start something online. 100%. You should start something online because, like, this may not sound good, but if you think of it this way, there are a lot of people who are going to be sitting home collecting checks from the government, right? And a lot of people don't know how to manage money. So when they get these handouts from the government, they're more prone to spend it online. You know, they spend it on buying a course, they spend it on buying products online, they spend it on buying gadgets online. Like, I bought this sign for $800, right? This sign cost me $800 and this sign cost the company $100. So they made like a nice $600 profit on this sign only because I was bored at home. Yeah. So I saw an ad on Instagram. I'm like, all right, I want this sign. And I got it. You know, so 2021 is going to be an awesome year to start an online business. Trust me on that. If people miss it, man, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss out on this. You know, so if you're home, yeah, that's true. So if you're home, you have nothing to do, look at something you can start online because it's going to really grow in 2021. Looks like your JPY has also dropped to our level at 126,100. GU is also about to break the low to continue bearish. We got news coming in 4 minutes here as well.
Yeah.
Looks like whoever entered around here, 141,900, your stops are at break even as it comes closer.
Yes.
Or maybe if you closed 50% at break even, you still have something running. Because man, once we break below 141,820, it's gone.
Yeah.
Then it's go time for GJ. How's the Velcro business doing? Pretty good. Pretty good. Made like 180 yesterday on that. $180. Pretty good. Started with $30. All right.
Basically, in 1 hour, everything changed from bullish to bearish. Bias on GJ.
Yeah.
Damn. What a crazy market right now.
But the good thing is we did not marry our bias. You know, we were fluid enough to identify this is not going to work. And then we were fluid enough to identify, okay, it's getting into sells at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, Raja, I have a problem with anticipating which zones should break with volume. Can you maybe give me some advice on that? That's why I missed EJ. You know, EJ was difficult because it was ranging at that point, but I guess when it started breaking down, you're looking at major zones, right? So this was your major zone on the 4-hour time frame. This was the minor zone on the 1-hour time frame, and the major zone is right over here. So whenever there's volume, price breaks through minor zones and goes towards major zones. So at that point, you just have trust. You're trusting price to break that zone. Just like if price breaks below 141,820, we have a major zone down at 141,600. I'm trusting volume to break this zone down over here to continue down towards 141,600. You know, so you're actually trusting price that, okay, you know what, I'm going to take an entry and I'm trusting that you're going to continue moving through the zone. But if it starts rejecting a zone, then you can manage risk at that point.
Hey Roger, good morning. So I just want to point out something to everyone for the GJ buys and why they didn't work. So whenever there's a 4-hour rejection, like where the wick is bigger than the body, there's a very low probability like for the next 4-hour to come down and fill that wick. I'd even go as far and say like 8 out of the 10 times it just won't happen. So this is just something I came across through backtesting and just experience trading GJ. So everyone can backtest this themselves and just check it out. Just something to keep in mind.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I was just expecting it to continue up if we stayed above, but it didn't. And it came down. So now that rejection makes a whole lot of sense now. All right, this is even perfect now. Some people have entries from 141,900. Once we close bearish and we break below, we're going to continue moving bearish here with pound yen. We got news coming in at 5 seconds over here.
Yeah, just be aware of the news because the news can give you a pullback.
Wait, what happened? Nothing. GU is also bearish at this point. I think everything is stuck. Let's take a look at these numbers. Terrible numbers? Were we right? Oh. I think we were.
Yeah, the numbers are terrible. 965.
Ooh. Oh, why isn't it loading? I'm gonna wait for it to load up.
Are we gonna get a break on resistance on gold, or it's just gonna drop? Because even with bad numbers, gold's gonna drop.
Yeah, man, these are terrible numbers. We were correct.
Yeah.
Bad numbers. Bad. No wonder they're giving people money. They know what's going on.
Okay.
See, now GJ should also continue moving bearish.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. If the numbers are bad, is the stimulus much more stronger than the bad unemployment numbers? That's the thing here. Because if we go based off the stimulus in the economy, that should prop gold further down. And then it should neglect these bad numbers to move up.
So I think if the Democrats succeed in like really just shutting everything down, then you have the stimulus, which is separate than the unemployment. And
And those unemployment people were making a lot more than they normally would also. So the more unemployment, that's extra money that's separate from the stimulus. So it's a lot of money there.
Oh yeah, 2 trillion. 1 trillion more. For GJSL, can the first target be 141,730? Yes, absolutely. I think down at 141,700 would make sense. Just like this visualization candle.
Yeah, it's a clean move.
Yeah, should be pretty clean coming down.
At this point, the 4-hour candle looks beautiful to continue bearish.
Can similar analysis apply to other pairs during different sessions when those pairs in particular are booming? Yes. All candles move the same way. They all move the same way. They all have same movement, same market structures. Everything's the same. The only thing you need for candles to move in this manner is volume. Without volume, there's nothing. GU is also turning down over here. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator over here. Our beautiful friend Chinese indicator. Ooh, euro is weak. Should be continuing bearish here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the stimulus made better for the economy, which makes gold drop, but unemployment would be bad for the economy, so I would assume gold might trend bullish. What do you think? See, last time this happened, especially with ADP, ADP came really bad, right? ADP came really bad, and we saw that gold still dropped, you know, and that was based on the stimulus news. So, which is why I would suspect it should still drop, even though the unemployment numbers were bad, but gold is ranging at this point. So technically, we gotta wait for it to break in one way. So if it start breaking down, then we can say that, okay, you know what? It would work in that way.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, Kervin?
Nothing, just GJ dropping, you know.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah.
Oh.
I got my 10 pips.
Oh, nice.
You are such a blessing, man.
No, man, you blessed yourself. You are a blessing for yourself. Look in the mirror and say, you are a blessing.
We are blessing.
Yeah, so if someone's asking about stop loss is above this current candle. And it's also back in the range. Can you invite Stefan Kassing on Friday? Really humble guy. He has the biggest community in Germany. I don't know who Stefan Kassing is. I guess we'll have to take a look. Let's take a look over here. Stefan Kassing. Oh, there we go. 23,000 followers. Interesting. He's not a trader. He's a trader? Okay, I see you trading right there. Kuvera Global. Man, this guy's in multi-level marketing. Why would I have someone in multi-level marketing on a live webinar? Where are his trades? There are no trades. They're just meetings over here. Man, I don't want to say you guys are dumb, but some guys are just dumb, man. You have to use your brain and see what's happening over here. Come on, man. Shit. Like, we come over here, we analyze markets to see where price is going to go, and trust me, analyzing people is way easier than analyzing markets.
Definitely.
Tell me to have someone from MLM. The moment I saw this picture right over here, this one, I knew it's some MLM event over here. Yeah, man, MLM, man. We don't do that stuff over here. No MLM here. I don't know anyone from MLM who can trade. None. Anyone. Kuvera Global is also big in Ontario over here, and all they focus on is to, man, you got to build a business. You got to bring in your one friend, and when you bring your one friend in the company, then your fee is, you don't have to pay any more fees. So your buddy pays your fees. That's what they say. And you're letting your buddy come in to pay your fees? Come on, man, have some morals, you know, have some ethics. Doesn't make any sense. I wanted to execute on the sell, but my magic keys wouldn't let me because I already made one trade today. How do I reset the today bid? So your magic keys told you you cannot take another trade. That's good. Oh man, that's hilarious. It's something in the preferences. You go to preferences so you can change it. He wrote a book about trading, has trading company, and also he made an indicator by himself. I would like to see the legitimacy of that, because on the internet you can be anyone you. This is the beauty about the internet. You can be anyone you want. Anyone. You can be anyone. You can write any book. Anyone you want. But as long as there's no legitimacy behind things you supposedly have done, then you know it could be anything. Samuel Leaches. Yeah, I know Samuel Leach. He's a good guy. Been wanting to have him on for a long time over here, but we just haven't been gotten around to set the time yet. I have two trade in pre-London today. First trade is -4 pips. Second trade is 12 pips. And I'm done for the day. Thanks for education. Oh, nice. Awesome. You close your day with profits. That's pretty good. Now when we look at this trade over here, pound, yen, this 15-minute candle is about to close in 5 minutes. And if it closes back in the range, then this is going to be a very troubling area over here, because we want it to close below this range for it to continue down. But if it closes back in the range, then it's going to get very difficult for price to continue down. And we might have to end the day with a loss over here, because, you know, GG just decided to range at this point. Ooh, GU also came right back up. Yeah, see, at this point, it's breaking its own high, so there's no trade at that point. Is this real or a scam? It's real, partly, you know, sometimes market tries to scam us with opposing moves, but we try to manage risk at that point. The biggest thing I learned over the last year was managing risk. That's the biggest thing I learned last year in 2020, managing risk. And that's just going to amplify this year here. You guys are fun. It still sells. Yeah, we're still going off of candle confirmations. We still think it's going to continue moving bearish over here. The 4-hour candle is about to close. We look at the 4-hour candle, still bearish. It's respecting the high over here. Look at this. It's respecting the high, but it's breaking the previous candle low. So based on a 4-hour, it still sells, but we need these smaller time frame candles to stay below 141.820. What's your resolution for 2021? My resolution for 2021 is to spread awareness about risk management. That's my resolution. If I can spread awareness about risk management to as many people as I can, I think that's going to be a good thing, because it's sad, man. Like, a lot of people have so much potential. A lot of people have such amazing analysis. You're all such great traders, but that risk management is missing. You know, you can't manage risk. You don't manage risk, and you keep on losing, even though your analysis is right, your bias is right, price goes to your take profits, but you just can't manage risk. And that's my motive for this new year, is to like spread awareness about risk management, like how you can reduce risk and still be profitable, or how you can focus on just risk management and still be profitable in the long run. But it just takes time, because I think like a lot of guys are still focused on how to make money all the time. You're just focused on making money, but you're not focused on how to lose less money, and I mean, if I can also spread awareness about like, stop looking at people with like, fancy cars and who only post pictures of their cars and this and that, you're going to be much better off. Because if you can look at all the influencers, the only thing you can see regular with all those influencers is just going to be they just post cars. And if you hide their faces, you're going to notice that all pictures are just the same. Right, so that's going to be where we're going to go into spreading awareness about risk management and spreading awareness about correct way of trading. Why did you used to have Daniel in your live then? Oh, he's a member of Market Fluidity, so he has access to these Zoom sessions. Plus, I know him in real life too. We've met. When I was in Miami, we met. Daniel came along, Raul came along. Can you comment on Palladium 1 hour chart? Palladium 1 hour chart. I think that's a metal. I think you'll have to send a chart on Palladium and then we can take a look at that. How do you aim to improve your risk management further in 2021? Taking even smaller losses. That's how I aim to further improve my risk management. All right, 15-minute candle is about to close over here. If it closes bearish,
should close below the 800.
Yeah. Would love to see a session of you on emotional intelligence and how it impacts trading. We do that every day. Every day price takes us on emotional roller coasters. Some people's roller coasters are pretty wild. Like if you can manage risk, your roller coaster is pretty easy. But someone who's not managing risk, holy man, you're going up and then you're going down and then you're going in circles. How do I join the Telegram group? I don't have a Telegram group. What's your principle behind risk management? The whole idea is to lose less than what you plan to lose. That's the entire idea behind risk management. A lot of people here in South Florida love flexing, so he looks like a scammer on IG and stuff. You know what? It's not even about South Florida. It's about Miami. You go to Miami, it's like everyone has a Lambo or McLaren. I'm not gonna lie. You go to Miami, it's like you get handed car keys. Here you go. Here's a car key and here's a personal photographer to take pictures of you. I lost $6 in the buy. I used lower risk and made $3 on the sells. Oh, nice.
Whatever happened in Miami never happened.
It never happens.
And also, I would like to add something about it. Like, it's just so stupid, just if you have a Lamborghini, why would I believe in you? Just on the stuff, just it could be anything. It could be a rental. It could be your daddy maybe bought it for you. It doesn't show me anything, just.
See, it's the thing, like when you're young, when you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, you're fresh out of high school, let's say early 20s, or you're fresh out of university, you have something to prove. You know, like when you graduate, you want to have like a really nice job. You want to support your parents. You want to pay off their rent. You want to pay their mortgage, stuff like that. You want to do all those things because you feel like you've graduated and now you're older enough to be able to do those things, right? And when you go to social media and when you see these type of stuff on social media, you think like, okay, this is normal, or this is something I have to do, or this is something where I should be at that point, you know. But that's not normal at all. I mean, I didn't started paying my parents' bills until I turned what, 29, 30 years old. You know, so it took me a long time. Of course, I wanted to do that while I was in my early 20s and mid 20s, but I knew that I had to work enough, I had to save enough to get to that level later on. You know, some people get to that level earlier than others. Some people take a very long time. You know, so for me, it took me like when I moved into my 30s. And when I first started trading, I didn't really understand, like I still look at a car like a car. You know, I started trading when I was 28 years old, 27 years old. I found out about it. And at that time, I was in a phase of my life where I was starting a family. And I was more focused on, okay, I'm making money from my job. How can I grow this money even more? You know, so I found Forex. I'm like, okay, perfect. So from Forex, I see this guy, Uncle Ted on Instagram, making racks every day. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Let me talk to this guy. You know, older guy, intelligent, further on in life than me, you know, more wise than me. And that was about it. My whole idea was that, okay, I have money aside. How can I grow this money faster? And to me, Forex made sense. I mean, okay, well, trading makes sense over here. And then while I was in this industry, then I found out about, you know, the marketing with cars and the marketing with like, you know, vacations and all that stuff. And to me, I was like, well, either I can start raising a family or I can start focusing on marketing, you know. So I was like, all right, nah, that's too much work.
Yeah, it's just so stupid, man.
I don't think it's stupid if somebody is driving like a Lamborghini. I mean, that's what they want to spend their money on. That's them. You know, if you want to spend your money on a house, a boat, whatever, paying off your parents' mortgage, that's up to the person. You know, they're just sharing their lifestyle. It's like someone who bought a house or, you know, I don't know, bought some nice furniture or whatever. Like you're just sharing what's important to you. So I don't look at it as like a negative. Somebody has a nice car, you know?
Yeah, that's true. At the same time, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's the message that's being delivered. Like, you know, if the message is, hey, listen, if you don't have this, you don't have nothing in life. That's the message that's usually delivered. Like that's like a form of success that's been said that, hey, like, you know what, to be successful, you need to have this. You know, rather than saying, hey, to be successful, you can have this, or you can have this, or you can focus on some other things. You know, I know one of my student, he just bought a Porsche GT3 RS, and that was for about like 230,000. And he's like, hey man, listen, I withdrew money, I bought it, and I just drive it on the track. I'm like, oh, awesome. But at the same time, like he says, hey, like, you know what, now I'm working towards the house, I'm working towards some other things. So at the end of the day, like if the message is not about, hey, you need to have these certain things to be successful, I think that's totally fine. But most of all, what we see on social media now is that, hey, like, you know what, look at this new thing I have. If you don't have this, you're not successful enough. That's where I have a problem with.
No, that makes total sense, and you're absolutely right. And I think that's not just a trading thing, but that's just, I mean, every ad that pops up is like, in any industry, it's like, hey, this is like you said, this is what success is in terms of, you know, society, right? You don't have Gucci or Louis Vuitton or whatever it is. It's like, that's what everybody is. Not everybody, but that's what they're trying to paint the message to be, that you have to have this in order for success. So I think you're right when you say that.
Yeah. So like my whole idea is to, like, you know, like create awareness about, hey, listen, success is what you think it's success. Either like taking on your parents' bills, if that's success for you, that's success for you. You know, if it's like doing a more down payment on the house, if that's success, that's success. But you can't really limit to, okay, this is what it is. And usually that's been thrown around by a lot of guys in multi-level marketing. you know, which I have a big problem with. But that's another topic. Let's take a look at this chart over here. It took a loss on sells, but risk was managed very nicely. So this was pound yen. Candle came down. Seeing price was pushing down nicely at the time. I wasn't expecting price to continue back up, so trail stops above the highs, very nice. So you manage risk over there. Yeah, I was expecting it to continue pushing down as well, without closing back in the range. But if you look in a 30-minute time frame, looks like it's got 7 minutes left, and if it closes back in the range, it becomes really difficult at that time. Let's see here. You were in sales and made it into successful business. You don't think you would have killed it in the marketing game, MLM? I think I would have killed it there, but that's a lot of work, you know, because you got to do meetings all the time. You got to travel all the time. And I have a family, man. Like, I got 2 kids, and I got to, like, you know, put all my time into my family. I can't put my time into those sort of things. So yet again, you know, it's like priorities. But I do think I would have killed it in multi-level marketing. But it's just the fact that my what's the word? My interest wasn't there. It's still not there because it's a lot of work. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is USDJPY. Moved 50% of positions to break even after this candle close. Very good. Move stop loss over there. Price came down. What happened? Strongly, probably candle close. So did you close at break even? Oh, positions to break even. Okay. I hope you secured positions as well. So gold is still ranging over here. Wow, GJ is still bouncing around over here. This candle is about to close in 5 minutes. 4-hour candle is about to start. When the 4-hour candle starts, we're going to be adjusting our zones over here. And then we're going to be anticipating it to continue moving further down. Looks like the 1-hour candle is also closing bearish. So this is still a very, very bearish bias. If you zoom out on GJ, you can see an uptrend and price is bouncing off of that trend line. Yes, we do know it's an uptrend, but if we look at these zones over here, it seems like we're rejecting 141.90, 142, and slowly seems like we should be continuing bearish over here. 50% at break even, 50% at minus 1.4 pip loss. Do you think that is aggressive? I think it's good. I think it's good. Or you think the risk management can be done on a higher time frame? The reason for 5 minute on UJ is because of the 5 minute structure breaks, the probability decreases. Yeah, if you were looking at USDJPY and you managed risk based on the 5 minute time frame, I think that was still pretty good. That made sense. Because now when we zoom into this, we can see that this candle broke up. This was the buying candle to continue moving bullish. We still had this bullish candle forming over here. But if you drop down to the 5 minute time frame, and if you managed risk after this move down, that's still pretty good. It's still pretty good at that point. Looks like pound yen is still in the game to continue down. It's just a matter of confidence at this point. But I do think we're coming down towards, you know, 141.700 and all the way down towards 141.600. Is RGB magic keys in future? Yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. We have 2 models coming up in July and August. Having the RGB ones, it's a problem because the cost is way too high and no one's going to pay that cost. So we want to make it cost effective at the same time. Let's take a look at this trade over here. Your JPY 30-minute chart. Is it good to enter when the candle closes the weak bullish candle and the low of that candle breaks? Yes, that's going to be a good idea. Because at that point you have a support formed plus candle close bullish with a small body, so there's a higher probability for that to break and continue. Could the losing trade on GJ be fake out on the 15-minute, taking into account the 30-minute resistance and the 8 AM candle nearly resistance confirmation to continue down? Yes. Let's see here. I am new and I discovered you guys when going through YouTube. Oh, nice. How often do you do these live streams and what time do you start? I want to join the next one and gain knowledge. Well, we start every day at like 6:30 AM Eastern and we go all the way towards 9 AM. Alright, this candle is about to close. Let's remove all analysis. Let's do fresh analysis over here. 1 hour candle is breaking support. And now there's a very, very high probability for price to continue bearish. I think this would be our target up till London close. We should be coming down towards 141,600 by London close, as long as we do break below 141,700, because this is a rejection area here as well. So looking on the 4-hour time frame, still pretty good. 4-hour candle is rejecting. So at this time, we can say that, okay, the 4-hour candle has a higher probability to come down to retest this low, around 141,580. And I hope we all can agree on that.
Like you say, fasten your seatbelt for going down.
I agree.
Yeah, fasten your seatbelts.
Oh, yeah.
We just don't want this high to break at 141,880. If we break this high, then the sells are invalid at that time. If I remember correctly, didn't Wix Don't Lie promote Magic Keys 2 years ago on Instagram? No. Magic Keys has only been around for a year, not 2 years ago. So you're wrong over there. The last 30 seconds. Look at the way it's retracing, bouncing around.
Imagine in 30 seconds dropping to 750.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a nice close. If we close as soon we close below the 800, we're good.
Guys, wouldn't you expect the new 4-hour candle to form a top wick?
Yeah, but it should not break the 141,900.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't break that.
Yeah.
But I think if it retraces up to that, maybe, yeah.
It just shouldn't break above this wick over here for it to continue down. So if we place a line over here, let me place a line right over here, 141,880. So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, we don't want the 4-hour candle to create a wick past this area over here. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. Yeah, so that's going to be the high over there at that point. That's only around 8 pips away. You know, it's not that bad at all.
Yeah.
GJ is in an uptrend on 4-hour. I see it continuing to range. So that means this is a pretty solid range over here. It's like a 22, 23 pip range.
Also, yesterday, this is around this time the volume kicked in. Yesterday too. So.
Yeah. Best case scenario is as we're breaking that low right now, we can get at least 10 pip on that move.
Yes.
But like Raja said, what we don't need is this candle breaking above the previous wick on the 15 on the 30 minute. This is the last chance I'm gonna give GJ.
Someone is saying buy Euro GBP now. Oh, nice.
on, GJ.
Come on, GJ. Come on.
Come on,
GJ.
come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro. Bro, come on, GJ.
GU is also coming down over here, trying to break below.
Show me your magic. Come on.
Aye, aye.
I think we'll get a little bit of a retracement before we break it.
All right, let's see over here.
Imagine controller effects copying this trade.
Divergence on GJ showing bullish strength running out. Sellers are stepping in now. Yeah, I would agree with that. Even looking on the 4-hour, it makes perfect sense for it to continue down to 700 and then coming all the way down to 141, 600.
I'm gonna full margin this much.
It is what it is, right? Full margin.
It is what it is, yeah.
Oh, what's going on over here? Oh, kind of slow here today.
Yeah.
Still only 5 minutes in. Should still continue going bearish. Still on the 15-minute time frame. Candle is still bearish. Respecting the highs. So we moved from bullish to extreme bearish at this point. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is still ranging over here. USD JPY is now coming back in the range. Your JPY is still in this support area, very heavy support area over here in your JPY. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is GJ. Ooh, fuck you candle formed. All right. New support formed. Executed sells at some retracement, keeping stops above the previous high. Potential target down over here and price come down to over here for the full target. Yeah, it makes sense. It just needs to stay below 141,880 for it to continue down. Very nice. Very nice. Abby Manu from Zoom, if you don't have magic keys, hit me up and then we're gonna give you a free copy of Magic Keys. So that's gonna be for you today.
Very nice.
Yeah, we still have 17 Magic Keys to give away. We had 20.
Oh, beautiful.
Let's take a look
You
here.
heard that, GJ? Now drop.
Sell when we break the low over here. Yes. That makes sense when we sell the low over here. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Entry once the bearish candle closes support, then wait for the next candle to wick up, then flip to break below to continue down. Yes. I think I saw this earlier on. Yeah, we saw this earlier on. What lot size can I use on a $1,000 account, and how many pips should be the target? I think, what, like maybe 10-cent lots? 10-cent lots you can use. And also understand how much you're willing to lose with 10-cent lots. You know, your risk is really, really important. I also think when you're trading, you need to focus on how to, like, to see if you're going to really over risk or not, or if you're not going to over trade with that amount.
Here we go.
Finally, GG.
Yeah, we're breaking the low over here.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, man.
Continue to here and then fall all the way down to 141,600.
Hell yeah.
Let's get it.
We hope for our range.
Yeah. If we end the streaming right now, it's gonna fall. Right when we finished.
Always does, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to end the stream, but then I realized no. Gotta get it on the highlights.
For the IG, for the IG.
Your shit. Just drop, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on, GG.
Give me that 600 level, GG. Come on.
There's a lot of distortion there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin's mic is something's going on. Maybe the parrot bit it.
I thought it was my headphones.
What now? Better now?
No.
Ooh, gold is trying to break up over here now.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Better now?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's
okay,
much better.
That's the fucking market maker.
You know, that reminded me of when we were back home, and if we didn't get the TV reception, someone would go in the roof and they would turn the antennas.
I know,
and they'd
man.
say, hey, is it better now?
Yeah.
You gotta say, no, turn it to the left.
I know, man. I remember that.
The struggles, man.
Yeah.
And now, if we don't get 4K, man, we get pissed off. We need 4K.
Those times.
The good old times. I remember those times. This one time I almost fell off the roof.
Oh, man.
Yeah, probably some young guys in YouTube would be like, huh? What they talking about? They used to get on the roof for antennas? What?
They had no internet?
Oh, they had no internet? What?
But it's a dial-up.
Alright, let's take a look at this chart over here. Weak bullish candle formed, entry when price broke the low of candle. Yeah, this was still not good at all, because as we mentioned yesterday, that when you're looking at impulse entries, you're looking for the previous candle to close bearish, and then when the candle breaks the low of the bearish candle, then that's an impulse entry. But at this point it was pretty risky because it already fell a lot and the previous candle was bullish over there. How can I get the free magic keys? You need to contact Raja, and then he's going to give you a code. Actually, I'm going to give you his email address, so just email him right here. Here we go. Do you guys trade stocks also, or just FX? It's just FX. I only take 1 to 2 trades per day and only stick to GJ, risking 1 to 2%. This week, manage my risk, but still down 4%. With the 100% losing streak. Is GJ moving normal? No. GJ has a very, very hard price action this week. Extremely hard price action. On Monday, we saw a move on gold. Tuesday, there was no trade on GJ. Wednesday, there was a move on gold and Euro JPY. And today, it's just been extremely difficult. You can see right over here, you know, extremely difficult, just low volume. You know, taking lots of time to move. It's really taking its time to form candles, you know, and that's where it becomes really difficult because, you know, slowly when you're like, you know, you're a new trader and you're in a 30-minute candle, you got to wait for the 30-minute candle to close, you know. So it's just very choppy this week on pound yen. Is it because of countries' lockdowns? I think fundamentally everything's just consolidating. I mean, the Brexit news is on hold right now. The UK, they had a new strain come in, but now there's just been no news from that point right now. They also got the vaccines in, so that's supposed to prop the currency up. But it's just how it is, man. We can only hope for better volume next week, because this week has not been that good of a volume move for pound yen in the New York session especially. The London session has been really awesome, but the New York sessions have all been really pathetic here today, well, this week. Looks like gold is also trying to break above 218.51. Why do you think that the London session has been good in terms of volume and not so much the New York session? I don't know, probably supposed to do with like, you know, for New York, you're looking at the US market, and I think everything in the US is kind of on hold because they're waiting for the inauguration on the 20th. That's what I suspect is happening. You know, that's what I suspect. But other than that, I would just say this as, well, it is what it is. Some weeks you get really good volume for New York session, and other weeks you don't get any volume at all in New York sessions. What's the time? It's 9:15. All right, I'm gonna head off over here. My time for today has ended.
Hey, Raja.
Take care, Raja.
My brother.
Okay.
Hey guys, have a nice day.
Take care.
All
Take
right,
care.
man.
Well, the good thing is, since I'm leaving, now pound yen can fall later on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why nobody's holding you. No? Okay, Raja, take care. Bye.
You can go, man.
Okay, guys, let's trade.
Ja.
Just get that money.
Get that body. All right, brother.
Sat Sri Akal.
Okay.